Zero Cool Gamer here, back again with another video, and we're talking about my man Loki. Jesus, man, this guy is still actually relevant, which is crazy because he's been power crept in stats for a long damn time. So, if you really want to think about building up a character that could be potentially useful, maybe they'll rework him soon. I don't know. There was rumors that he might be getting like this all villain team with the Executioner and that. Who knows? It's just rumors, but sometimes they come true, sometimes they don't. We don't know, but we'll find out eventually. But for right now, I think maybe we just need to look over him for a little bit. So Loki, his kit is relatively interesting. The main one is his mind control. Now that's turn one here, which he's going to go over to. You got to do this turn one. Apply defense down on war defense, which you shouldn't put him on. Keep him ready for offense. He mind controls two enemies to attack the primary target, and then the controlled enemies gain 25% damage for this attack. So that's their damage. So if they have high damage and he mind controls those two, boom. So it's great if you got if he does mind control lower characters, watch him go ahead and get lower characters like Rhino or something to hit you, and then you're screwed. But if he does mind control somebody like Weaver or Doom or Dorm, it's going to be a big hit, plus 25% extra damage on whatever that character's levels are. So that's a good part there. I would say definitely T4 this because mind control two enemies. This is great. His ultimate is okay. It just applies stealth to allies and then gives mirror images for 2 turns, which is literally what they're there for. But they could survive because they do get a little bit of health, but it's based on Loki. And this isn't turn 1, it's turn 2, which can suck because you got to wait for it to happen to throw all the enemies in stealth, and then you're focused on the mirror images of them. The passive, this gives a lot more focus to himself and a lot less resistance to the enemy. His passive, however, is the most important because fill speed bar by 15% and then fill speed bar of Mystic Controller allies by 10%. So this one is key to Cersei, Cloak. Definitely need those to go ahead and control some people. It's definitely more used for Cersei. That's pretty much 90% of the time what you're using Loki for is going ahead and beefing up Cersei so she can go ahead and go first before Icarus, slow everybody down, put the vulnerable on somebody, let Icarus go off. Hopefully she gets somebody close to, lower health so that way Icarus wrecks them completely and double taps. So that way you get a double hit of his ultimate. But it's just depending on how big your Cersei and Icarus are and how quickly the other team dies. So there are some factors with it, but Loki is literally only used for that. That is essentially his big thing because his stats are crap. He is just literally just power crept to the max here. 287,000 damage. I mean, health points, he's going to die quickly. His damage, not really doing too much. His armor, not armoring nothing. He should have a lot more armor since he is Asgardian. They can take a beating, but obviously they don't. So, and his basically just gives him the chance to evade besides the piercing damage. So a 50% chance to evade. For Scopely on the AI, 120,000% chance to evade. Player side, we don't get that. So there's no point to doing it. But the synergies are he does go with Asgardians. If you don't got any other, the new Asgardians, Mighty Thor, Valkyrie, you still could use them together. He still gives the passive of healing and stuff like that, but he doesn't have the stats to keep up with it. Mystic Controllers is what he's usually used for right now for synergies and trying to make those characters go a bit faster. So speed is this game, so that's what you want to do. You want to have speed in this game. But when it comes to Scourge and Dark Dimension, longer modes like that, it's really not based for that. But for Crucible, he is relatively useful, so keeping him on offense is probably your best bet. But he's not really in a team right now. He does have the Asgardian tag, but he's not really part of an actual team. So he is, well, homeless. So he's just floating around helping out Mystic Controllers so that way they could go speed faster and boom, wreck nerds. But I was iffy which one to say here, but if the rumor is true and he does get a rework, which looks like slowly all the older characters, that ones that haven't gotten a rework or a stat increase is slowly getting there, he's useful. So the longer he survives, the better. As long as he can survive that initial onslaught, he could actually possibly do his special and mind control a couple of characters, which would be great. And his passive is just ridiculous with it. Adding the speed is really, really good. So, damn, I gotta say level him up. I do. I gotta say level him up. I don't want to say trash him. You want him to make sure that he survives the initial onslaught so that way he can mind control somebody, and hopefully you can build him up to a stat to where he does got that increase. We are getting the level cap increase to 95, so you have more potential to build his stats up. It's not going to be great, but the more health you can put on him, the more he survives. So all in all, level up Loki. For now, it's just the way to be. Speed is this game. It's a turn-based game, so you need speed, and any bit of speed does help. Besides Cable, he's the only one that can really speed up Mystic Controller. So, but if you find this video helpful and you want to go ahead and support the channel, just go ahead and like, share, subscribe. That would be great. That would do me a wonder. And if you dislike this video, go ahead and just double up on the fact that you were going to hit the button twice. Just hit the dislike button twice. Helps me out, helps you out to say, hey, you know what? I'm keeping it real here. But till the next one, y'all, as Zero Cool saying, doses.